Michael, Andre, thank you so much for spending with a few minutes with me. Congratulations on the series. Man, what a twist
Thank you.
now on a modern day rom-com. How are you guys feeling?
Good. Yeah, I feel really good. It's fun. I'm excited for people to watch it. I haven't really said this, but I think it's a nice combination of a show that will appeal to a lot of different people, but also like people within the industry will also find it amusing because it's so referential. I think it's a good, it has a good broad audience in that sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think of people in my life that I know that I'm like, oh, they'd like it. Oh, they would like it. And they don't even like the same stuff.
Yeah, totally.
There's something special about both of your characters because there's a lot of things we really can't talk about. But that's kind of thinking about it, that's kind of the fun of the series is that there's so many twists and turns and things that happen, especially with you guys. So let's talk about really the chemistry of the cast because you guys all seem to do so well together. I know I read some notes that said you guys are even hanging out off screen.
Yeah. No, I think it was cast well, like curated well as personalities too. And I think it shows in the performance also. It doesn't feel like people that just, I don't know, are just working together, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody's very different and specific because the characters are so well drawn out. So it felt like everybody brought a little bit of their own flavor to what they were doing, which just added to the tone in a really smart way.
In which case, let's speaking of difference, let's talk about Zach a little bit. I really enjoyed the kimono.
Oh,
That was
thanks.
fun. So tell us a little bit about Zach, and because we meet him very, very early on.
Yeah, he's a gamer. He's a little bit in his own world.
Gamer. He's a gamer.
Um, he very much loves AJ and stuffed animals.
The gaming stuff looks great, by the way.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
love the
no,
whale.
that was
The virtual reality gaming world looks really good.
yeah. I didn't get to see much of that until I was doing ADR, and I started cracking up when I saw like the characters he was talking to and that world that he was in. I thought it was pretty funny. And there's a lot of acting going on because I have not played any modern video games myself in like
No
forever.
kidding.
So yeah.
That's being a
So
little
kudos
to
to
your
me
character.
Yeah.
How
pretending to
fun!
play video
Yeah.
games.
And Michael, you play Richie, which we find you really where you'd find me is at a trivia, at a bar doing trivia. Tell us a little bit about kind of a little bit of what you can tell us because I know that there's a lot going on,
Yeah.
with you and Ruby.
Well, Richie is, a past lover of Ruby, and he's one of the few people, if not the only person, who, you know, is able to be very honest with her, which is something that Ruby really needs. And it's different because Richie calls it a little bit like he sees it unabashedly, not really afraid to tell her like it is, and I think it's a breath of fresh air. So the character of Richie is a little bit more uninhibited in terms of like where he what he's able to say to her specifically.
And really that's kind of the theme of the series really is finding out more about yourself in order to fixing your present really and your past to be able to progress in the future because she's looking for love and she has all these different men that were in her life and now she needs to go back and really hear the truth and we see that with Richie. Any reflection from you guys in being in this series and kind of looking back at maybe some bodies that you'd say that you'd be like, oh man, I it was really me.
I've been perfect my whole life, so not much reflecting.
Yeah.
Uh,
Stephanie talked about it a lot throughout the course of the show. She said this. It was really interesting for her because every she realized that every past ex or past lover is basically like a time capsule for you. It's a window into who you were in that specific moment in time and how much you've changed or how much you not changed. And so yeah, in a clever, not so indirect way, the show is a great metaphor for um to your own growth in terms of the people that you've been with and your own, relationship timeline to where you are now. And that's definitely what Ruby's journey is throughout the show. And I think kind of what every her character's journey is through the show as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, like I like the time capsule thing. It's like these windows of time where it's like these two people made sense for this period of time,
Yeah.
and then they ended up not making sense after a little while. But it's
Right.
interesting to reflect on why that worked until it didn't.
It's interesting because we all don't really like doing that, maybe to reflect back, because it does take us back to some not so great moments maybe, but obviously it has built us to who we are now, and I think that's really cool part of the series is that it can kind of be a mirror for all of us to look at. Now on set, you guys have so many people on there, guest starring in different episodes because there's so many people that need to be on there. And then there's, working with Sasha and Stephanie. Tell me about some of the improv that was going on, because you guys, it couldn't just be all scripted right off the paper, because I mean, you guys are all so talented.
Well, I mean, there were pockets where we got to improvise some things, but a lot of it was really a very, very not not strictly, but strategically written script.
Yeah.
So it was very much like keeping in the rhythm of that. And if you could have little pockets or things you could say or add that would still like fit the rhythm, then it would make sense. That was really more the trick than sort of just like coming up with something. It was like, how do I come up with that fits this song?
Right. It wasn't quite like Apatowian improvising where it was, every man for himself. Tons, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It felt this like he said, the script was very almost mathematical and musical in how it was written, like very much like a sitcom almost. So you couldn't stray too far from that, but there were pockets where you could, and they would throw alts at you and stuff like that, and you could improvise a little bit. I'd say like 90% non, 90% scripted, maybe. That's really a question for Notch, because she would know after editing it, like how much of it was improvised.
Yeah, I mean, I can say this. There was lots of moments where I improvised a bunch of stuff.
You definitely improvised, like I don't think,
but that doesn't mean it was always in there,
right?
Like, but on set for sure.
Yeah.
But they let you guys play on sets, which is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys enjoyed that. Michael, Andre, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed the series. So I'm excited for everybody to get to see you guys on screen on this series. Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.